You know, think about it for a second. The cement in our walls, the coal that powers our lights, minerals are literally the invisible foundation of our modern world. We absolutely need them. But their journey, man, that journey from deep inside the earth to our homes, it comes with a story. A story of incredible wealth, yeah, but also a profound cost. So let's get right into it.
And really, that's the big question we're tackling in this explainer. I mean, just look at the sheer scale of modern mining. It's an engine of progress, for sure, but it also just carves up the landscape, and it has a huge impact on the people who call that land home. It's this constant push and pull, this tension, and it's playing out every single day in the Indian state of Telangana.
So why are we focusing on Telangana? Well, it's because deep beneath its soil lies this absolute treasure trove of resources. And these aren't just important for the state, they're critical for the entire country. Let's take a closer look at exactly what we're talking about here.
Okay, so what's really fascinating when you look at this map is just how widespread all of these resources are. I mean, you can see deposits of coal, iron ore, limestone, granite. They're scattered all across different districts. We're not talking about one or two little mines here. This is a fundamental part of the state's geography and, of course, its economy.
And this table, it just lays it out perfectly. It shows you exactly why these minerals are so valuable. You've got coal for energy, iron ore for steel, limestone for cement. I mean, these are the basic building blocks of industry. And get this, the granite from the Karimnagar district is so unique that it's exported on a massive scale for monuments and decorative panels all over the world. Pretty incredible, right?
Now, here's something you really need to understand. This is a crucial point. Telangana is the only state in all of southern India that has these huge deposits of coal. That's a big deal. It makes its role in powering the entire region absolutely critical. So this isn't just some local resource. We're talking about a strategic national asset. And the company right at the heart of all this extraction, that's the Singareni Collieries Company, or SCCL for short. It's a joint venture owned by both the Telangana state government and the central government of India. And they're a huge operation, running dozens of mines and employing tens of thousands of people.
Okay, I want you to just pause for a second and look at this number, 32. What do you think that could mean? It's just a number, but it's a number that forces us to completely change gears, to pivot from this story of wealth to the other side of the coin, the story of cost.
32. That's how many miners from the Singareni Collieries have died from heart disease just this year alone. And even more tragically, 11 of them actually died inside the mines. This one number, it just opens the door to the absolutely staggering human toll of this industry. And the data, well, it's just stark. On top of those 32 deaths, local hospitals are reporting about 15 cases of heart attacks among miners every single month. Think about that. The pressure of the job, the dangerous conditions deep underground, it's all taking a really brutal toll. And you know, it's not just about these sudden acute emergencies. It's the long game too. Constantly breathing in polluted air and coal dust leads to these chronic, life-altering diseases. We're talking about asthma, tuberculosis, and the dreaded black lung disease. These things are tragically common, and they haunt miners long after they've left the tunnels.
The cost isn't just human, though. It's literally etched onto the land itself. I mean, mining physically reshapes the entire earth. And take a look at this. That's not a natural hill. It's a mountain of waste rock and soil, what they call overburden, that's been dug up to get to the minerals. And these giant mounds, they can choke rivers, pollute the groundwater, and just leave huge areas of land completely barren.
So to really get why these impacts are getting worse, we've got to look at a huge shift in how the mining is actually done. There are two main ways to do it, and the industry is making a very aggressive move from one method to the other. Okay, so on one side, you've got your traditional underground mining, right? Digging these long tunnels deep into the earth. It's really expensive, and it's pretty dangerous for the workers. But on the other side, you have open cast mining. And this is basically just digging a giant pit right from the surface. It's way cheaper, it's much more productive, and that's exactly why companies love it. But the trade-off is massive environmental destruction.
And honestly, the pictures here say it all. On one side, you see a small, contained entrance to that underground world, but on the other, a sprawling open-cast mine that has completely wiped the original landscape off the map. To put it in perspective, one of those underground mines might pull out 1,500 tons of coal a day. An open-cast mine, it can produce 10,000.
So, with the stakes this high, you have to ask, what's being done to manage all these risks?
Well, the government has been stuck in this long, tricky balancing act for a while now, trying to get all the economic benefits of mining while also, trying to lessen its dangers.
This timeline really shows that constant push and pull. After independence, back in the 70s, the government nationalized the mines. The hope was to improve workers' safety and make sure the resources were being used for the public good. But then, by 1993, things shifted again. To bring in new tech and ramp up production, a new policy opened the door for private companies to get back in the game.
So where are we today? Well, the Telangana state government has what you could call a multi-pronged strategy. They're enforcing regulations, they're doing regular safety inspections, they're providing training and education, and they're really pushing for the adoption of modern tech, like remote monitoring, all in an effort to make the mines safer for the people working inside them.
But, despite all these efforts, that core conflict, it's still there. The relentless drive for higher production and lower costs just keeps pushing the industry in a direction that comes with a really heavy price, for people and for the planet.
And this quote, this is from a news report on the expansion of open-cast mining. It just puts the human cost in such stark terms. It says, the decision could render 20,000 people homeless and affect 200 villages. It's not just about the environment, see. It's about people being displaced, losing their livelihoods. It's about the destruction of entire communities.
And this right here, this is the face of modern, super-efficient mining. These machines can literally move mountains. They can pull resources out of the ground at a speed that was just unimaginable a generation ago. And yeah, this is what allows for all that increased production, but it's also the very thing that accelerates the environmental damage and the social displacement.
Which, at the end of the day, brings us right back to that fundamental dilemma. And look, there are no easy answers here. Not at all. We all depend on these resources. But the question is, how do we weigh that need against the very real and often permanent cost to the people and the places that these resources come from?
This final image, I think, just captures that conflict perfectly. On one side, you have the land as a home, a source of life. And on the other, you have the exact same land seen as a source of industrial wealth. Figuring out the right path between those two visions, well, that's one of the most urgent challenges we're facing today, not just in Telangana, but all over the world.